Hello, guys. Welcome once again to another match preview. Now, it's been a long time since I've done one, and it's because the last time I did one, we lost to Man United, a very horrible loss. And after that, I was thinking, I was done. I'm not making any match previews, but I decided, you know what? Let me just do another one, okay? But look, it's another must-win game, and hopefully we win this game. And it feels like I'm saying every week. I feel like I've been saying it's a must-win game every week since the start of the season. But once again, honestly, this is a must-win game. It will be a very interesting game because this is it's been I think it's the first game in quite a bit since Arsenal are playing after Manchester City. Usually, when we do that, when we play after, it's not the best. We usually always drop points, but it will be interesting to see how Arsenal react. And yeah, let's get into it. Look, Arsenal have just beaten Sunderland. Great win. 3-0, very comfortable at the end. And the confidence is high with Arsenal at this time right now. There has been a lot of talk about Arsenal potentially rotating about this game, in terms of lineup. For me, I don't want to hear any of that. I think Arsenal should go full strength. I mean, the predicted lineup I'm seeing. Why is Gabriel Jesus starting? Gabriel Jesus should not be starting this game, but we're going to get into it. Look, this is a type of game Arsenal usually struggle in. Away against a team that usually can play in that defensive mid block. Arsenal usually struggle in these type of games. Brentford are a very defensive side. I mean, not just defensive. Sorry, that's quite disrespectful, but they're a good defensive side. They can play offensive, like they are good attacking wise, but defensively they are very good. They're able to sit back. They're able to that mid block really that defensive unit they set up can cause teams a lot of issues, makes it very difficult to create chances, and I think this is going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal because of the way Brentford are going to set up. So I think Arsenal will need to remain patient. Honestly, I think that's the number one thing. And another thing is, do not concede first. Arsenal cannot concede first in this game, because my worry is with these type of games, if Arsenal concede first, all it's going to do is give Brentford even more incentive to drop even deeper. They're going to get these silly fouls, the goalkeeper taking long with goal kicks. So for me, Arsenal just cannot be silly, make any stupid mistakes, and they just have to remain patient. Um, yeah, and I think it's going to be similar to a game like Leeds, where the key will be to really score early. Arsenal will have to score early in this game to kill off any momentum and really silence the crowd. Now, the thing is with Brentford, they've actually been a very good side this year, surprisingly. Let me see where they are on the table. Yeah, the seventh on the Premier League table. They've lost their manager, they lost Mbeumo, they lost Wissa. There was a lot of questions about Brentford coming onto the season. Where are Brentford going to finish with, when they've lost so many key figures at their club? And I think to everyone's surprise, they've done really well. With their manager, who's apparently a set piece who is a set piece coach, taking on the managerial role, and he's done really well. So this will be a very difficult game. Now, of course, one of their star player, Igor Thiago, who's been very good this season. I mean, 17 goals in the Premier League. That is a crazy return. Like, very impressive. I can't remember the last time a Arsenal player scored 17 goals in the Premier League. That is crazy. Now, we did play against Brentford. This is the return fixture. Now, we did play against them at home the first leg. I think I forgot what the score was. I'm sure Arsenal won. I think maybe we won 2-0 at the end. And at the end, it was a very comfortable game. But I think I do recall Brentford resting a lot of their key players. But I think this time there won't be any rotations. I think Brentford are going to fully go at it. They're going to have a real try at the game, because they feel confident. They just beat Newcastle, so they also feel confident. They have some momentum, and especially at home as well, they're going to be up for it. So it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are entering a very crucial part of the season. With Manchester City just beating Liverpool has given Manchester City and their players a new sense of life. They will be pumped after that massive result. And for Arsenal, there's a lot of questions already on Arsenal. Like, can Arsenal get across the line this year? These are questions even fans are having. So this will be the first test. Many times, including last season, where Arsenal were under any sort of pressure to really close the gap or to show that they were serious, we usually just drop points. And this is going to be a time where Arsenal will need to show that they are built different this time. And it's not just about the first 11 quality and the subs. I think it's more also about the mentality this year. The mentality will be brought to the test. You know, the mentality will be questioned. Do Arsenal really want it enough? And we will be tested. You know, 13 games left, a long 13 games with so much football to play. Arsenal will be tested. You know, so yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, the lineups. Now, for me, I think the lineup will be key. Now, after the Sunderland win, I think was given, you know, what that game really did was show Arsenal a future template that Arsenal could go off. Now, of course, I'm talking about the almost 4-4-2 setup, which is with Havertz and Gyökeres, or Havertz and Jesus. But for me, I would start Gyökeres. After that, and brace against Sunderland, how can you not start Victor Gyökeres? So for me, I would start Victor Gyökeres, and I think you have to start him in such a physical game like this where he can really impose himself on the defenders. Apart from that, I would go with pretty much the same lineup. I think the only difference I would make is I wouldn't start Calafiori. I would start with Nketiah. I think Nketiah is just a bit more in terms of match sharpness ahead of Calafiori. I think Calafiori is just getting up to speed. I think Calafiori would probably play against Wigan. So, but for me, I would start Nketiah just because in terms of match sharpness, I think Nketiah is just ahead of him right there. I'd also start Eze in this game. Like I said, I think Brentford are going to sit a bit deep, and I think we're going to need someone creative, someone can really, create different options for us, and that's why for me I would start Eze. I wouldn't start Martinelli in this game. No Trossard. I think Trossard is. I'm not too sure with Trossard. Obviously, he came off because of injury in the last game, so I'm not sure if he's going to be if Arsenal are going to risk him. But for me, I would start Eze in this game. I think this is a perfect game to start Eze. Someone that can really be the creative spark and trust. And honestly, Eze has to also step up. He's not really done much recently, so there's gonna be a lot of pressure on Eze, and I think he knows himself. And that's the type of player he is. I don't expect Eze to shy away from these challenges, and I know Eze will show why he is here. So for me, I would play Eze, and I really do hope Eze starts. But for me, look, it's win at all costs. Whether it's a 1-0 win off a corner, 1-0 off a own goal, I do not care. Just give me the win, and let's just cross another game off the list. Especially with City's game tomorrow against Fulham, which I anticipate Manchester City are going to beat Fulham without a doubt. So yeah, Arsenal need to win. And honestly, in the Premier League, you cannot rely on anyone. I think we've learned that in a very difficult way. Spurs, Liverpool again this season. I think we just also just need to focus on themselves and get the job done. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your lineup would be. Would you start with Jesus, or would you start with Victor Gyökeres, or would you bring in Martin Odegaard? But yeah, let me know how much rotations would you guys do for this game. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.